What's up, people in the interwebs? I hope you're having a terrifying day for this spooky month, and today we are going to explore 5 of the best paranormal photos of UFOs. So let's bring on the spooky atmosphere and let's dive into some of these terrifying UFO photos. So number 5, this UFO was taken in Belgium in 1989, taken on an April night during a well-known wave of UFOs. The image shows a triangular-shaped object with lights. The photo is slightly edited as the original photo was too dark to show the object's outlines, but that is the only thing edited from this photo. It is just the brightness and the contrast of the image. One of the biggest reasons why I wanted to add this photo onto the list is I too have seen this UFO as well, as back in 2010 I think, when England was also having a massive wave of UFOs being spotted around the country. This was the same exact UFO I saw flying outside my house. The shape and the 4 lights are exactly the same UFO I saw back in the day. It definitely brings a creepy factor that I have seen this same similar UFO, and also many other people have seen the same style UFO around the country, so definitely a creepy photo in my eyes. Moving on to number 4. So this photo was taken on Apollo 16 on the moon back in April of 1967. The UFO is seen at just the right of the top center, behind the astronaut. There has been no given explanation for this object, but some believe that this is a UFO. Others believe that when the Apollo was taking a photo, it is actually one of the parts from the Apollo being reflected from the lens. But what do you guys think? Do you think it's a UFO or a reflection? Or is it actually a UFO? And NASA said it was a reflection to hide the truth. I will leave it to you guys to what you think the image actually is. On to our next photo, so number 3. This daytime photograph of a disc-shaped object was taken in Rhode Island in 1967 by a UFO contactee called Harold Trudell. The photograph shows a slightly asymmetrical hubcap-shaped object with a small dome and an aerial extending from the bottom. Harold believed he was in mental contact with the UFO and the aliens inside, who sent him a telepathic message as to where and when they would appear. I found the story behind the photo really interesting, as he is not the only one I've heard where aliens would send people messages of when they are coming to visit the world. But definitely an interesting photo and a creepy tale behind it. But does anyone else think this UFO looks like a prop they would use in a 1950s sitcom, when they would have this UFO on a string and a stick and it would sort of be dangling around a background? Or is it just me? Anyway, let's get back on track. So moving on to number 2. So this photo was taken in Los Angeles, California on February 25th, 1942, around 2:30 in the morning. This image is known as one of the more famous UFO photos, as the background behind the image has a pretty interesting tale, as the tale goes that Los Angeles installed alarm sirens in the event of a Japanese air raid. The sirens started as these flying unidentified objects were seen and announced in the sky. A blackout was declared, and anxious and terrified citizens followed the instructions by turning off all their lights. At 3:15, anti-aircraft guns opened fire on the unidentified flying objects coming from the ocean, and projector beams are searching the sky for the object. Witnesses observed small objects flying at high altitude of red or silver plated colors, moving in formation at high speed, and these large objects were unhurt by many of the AAA projectiles, according to the reports. Definitely a great tale and a great UFO photo. Now we are moving on to the very last photo. So our number 1 photo is the Phoenix Lights in Arizona in 1977. Now this photo has to be the most publicized UFO event in history. The UFO was widely sighted throughout the skies over the US state of Arizona during the night. First observed in a hexagram pattern at about 7:30 over the mountain area of East Phoenix. The formation of the amber orbs was next seen in 2 separate arc patterns with trailing lights over the Gila River at about 9:50 in the evening, and again at 10 in the evening at the southern edge of Phoenix. Thousands reported seeing these objects. It's definitely a great photo, and it makes you think, what is going on above the stars? But there you guys have it. Let's remove the spooky atmosphere. And those were 5 of the best UFO photos. So, what did you guys think of these photos? Do you think that we are alone in the universe? Or do you think there are other forms of life out there? My view is I think there is 100% other life forms out there, as there is no way we can be the only life forms in the universe. There has to be some other form of life out there. I just can't fathom that we're the only living things out there. But what do you guys think? I would love to see your views down below in the comments. And just remember guys, keep being spooky, and I'll see you tomorrow for another spine chilling video. Bye!